What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the best team in FIFA. Today we have got a team sent in from Marksman. He says not cheap, but I used it extensively in Weekend League and loved it. So we're going to build the team today. I'm going to take you through why I picked the team, what I do with the team, the formation, not the formation, sorry, the chem styles I put on it, the custom tactics and the player instructions that I would use with this team. And then as per last video in episode 1, I asked you guys what did you want to see, live gameplay cut down or post-com gameplay, and the general consensus was that if I played like 4 or 5 games off camera, chopped out the highlights, talked about how good the team was, the strengths and weaknesses, that would be best. So that's what we're going to do again this year for the best team in FIFA. Now, if you could drop a thumbs up on the video, it would be much appreciated. And of course, if you guys want to send me your teams, twitter.com/NepentheZ. I don't mind looking at any teams, I look at many teams, but please send me teams that you've used that you actually think are good, rather than teams that you just built on Foothead that look good. I know a lot of people just send me like crazy OP teams, like a full Legends team, like I bet this team's good. I like the best team in FIFA is me looking for the best team in FIFA from you. And if you just put together a random team and have never played with it, there's no possible way you could know if that was or wasn't a good team. So please send me teams that you've actually played with, that you actually use and that you actually love, no matter how expensive or how cheap, bronze, silvers, golds, informs, legends, anything. As long as you like it, I'm sure I'll like it. With that being said, let's get into this team. Now guys, before I actually build the first set of the team, obviously I'm going to do the defense and midfield, then the attack. The total value of this team, as at the time of recording this video is 346,850 coins on Xbox One and 413,450 coins on PlayStation. There are some cheaper alternatives that I'll run through where possible, but let's get straight into this team. And the first player we are picking up is Gianluigi Buffon, 88 rated goalkeeper. I've never used him yet this year. He's got a crazy good card. His current price is 17,500 according to Footbin, and as you can see, I bought him for 17,250. Now, before we get into the chem styles and such, we'll go for the next man, and that is Florenzi. Now, Florenzi, probably the cheapest player on the team at 2,300 coins according to Footbin. I paid 2,400 coins for him, and you can kind of see where this is going with the defense. Next up is Barzagli in defense, and we'll take a look at these players in just a second. And then the other centre back is Bonucci, the regular version, not the inform. And then at left back it is Alex Sandro. So a really strong defense in my opinion, and the reason why I took this team mostly was because of this defense. I haven't really used the Calcio A defense before, so it's going to be nice for me to do it. So looking at the stats of these players, Buffon obviously got crazy good diving, handling, reflexes and positioning. As I tell you guys so many times, kicking and speed in my opinion aren't really that relevant, making Buffon a crazy goalkeeper. And he's already got the glove chem style on, which is the chem style I would use. I actually managed to buy him with it on. So for Florenzi, now if you can afford Florenzi's inform card, use it. It's unreal. If you can't, this card is super cheap anyway. If you need an even cheaper card, Abate is there for you. He has more pace as well, but I love Florenzi because he's just so well rounded. For me personally, I would be throwing an anchor chem style on Florenzi. So of course you have to attribute somewhere between 10 and maybe 20,000 coins for chem styles for this team as well, unless you can afford to buy them with the chem styles on. And for most high rated players, you actually can get the players with the chem styles that you want on. The next defender is Barzagli, 6'2", low high work rate, 74 pace, 89 defending. His physical lacks a little, so I would again probably argue that anchor is best thing for him. Boost that pace, boost that defending. They both go up over the 90. The defending goes up well up over the 90s into like the high 90s. The physical gets up into the mid 80s and the pace gets up around 80. And again, I like to just say this just because I know some people don't believe in the chem styles and the way the attributes change. I believe in them. If you don't believe in them, feel free to use whichever chem style you see fit, or use none at all if you don't believe in them. But for me personally, I do believe in them. And the same for Bonucci. Good pace already, really good defending and physical. So a nice anchor card just to really mix up that whole team right there. Sorry, not to mix it up, but just to just boost it in the right sections. Another centre back with medium height work rates, 6'3" tall. So although Barzagli isn't the tallest at 6'2", he's close to what I really love, which is the 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and it's barely noticeable in game. And then for Alexandro, guys, another relatively cheap player, actually 7,900 coins according to Footbin, and that's exactly what I paid for him as well. And for the two centre-backs, Barzagli is currently going for 14,500. I managed to snatch him for 13,250. And Bonucci, who I've got as a first owner according to Footbin, is 17,500. So for Alexandro, once again, I would just be going anchor all day here. He's got good dribbling, good passing anyway, high work rates, 3-star skill moves. Although he's already got 87 pace, I don't mind boosting that pace even more, boosting that defending, boosting that physical, and making sure we have a very quick, very strong defense, and that's kind of what we've got ourselves there for. So that is the defense made up there, guys, with the basically a full Juventus defense, and then Florenzi in at right back. In at CDM, guys, we are going to be taking a player who I've not used yet in FIFA 17, and that is Sergio Busquets. In at the left midfield position, it is going to be a very cheap midfielder by the way of Koke, and he is also a very good midfielder. At the right CM spot, it is going to be Ivan Rakitic, one of the more expensive midfielders in the team. And then last but not least, up in at cam is going to be James, not James. Let's go grab him. Boom. So he is going to be the dude that is there. So this midfield is basically this for value. Busquets is 14,750. Rakitic is going for 22,000. Koke is relatively cheap at 2,400. And James Rodriguez is currently going for... Where is Rodriguez on here? Why can't I see Rodriguez? Why? Hello? EA? There he is, 50,000 coins. So he's one of the most expensive players in the team. Apart from, I think there's two more expensive players than him. Maybe, no, one more expensive player than him. But so James Rodriguez there coming in. Now, for Sergio Busquets, because he already only has 42 pace, I personally don't believe that giving him something that boosts his pace is going to help him. So there's two chem styles you could give him. You could either give him Sentinel and boost that defending and physical, or you could give him Backbone and boost that defending, physical, and passing. I use Gareth Barry's 600 game cards quite extensively on my Road to Glory account, and he has, I think, less pace maybe than Busquets at 40 pace or something, and he's just unreal, and I use Backbone on him. So I'm going to throw Backbone on Sergio Busquets. On to Rakitic. Now, Rakitic has got an interesting card because his pace isn't great, but it's good enough that a boost will be good for him. His defending and physical are so low that I don't rate that at all, but his dribbling, shooting, and passing are at the point where if you boosted them, he'd become a monster in the offensive third. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give him the Maestro, we're going to boost that dribbling, that shooting, that passing. He's going to be unreal for us, I'm sure. And if you look at the work rates of the two boys that we just added the chem styles to, you've got Sergio Busquets there with the medium, 6'2". Should do a good job. I'm going to set some custom, some player instructions on him to hopefully help him stay back. Also medium for Rakitic, coming in at 6 foot tall. And then Koke, not quite as tall as the other two, 5'10", high, and James Rodriguez, 5'11", medium. So there's only one high attacking work rate midfielder in the team, which isn't really a problem for me. I've got Maestro on James Rodriguez. I personally believe that's the best thing for him. Much like Rakitic, you know, his defending and physical can't really be changed too much. His pace is already good enough for a cam. I want to boost that dribbling, shooting, and passing to the highest it can be. And then for Koke, quite the contrary. He has really good physical, and then other than defending, a really well-rounded card. So there are many chem styles you could give to him. You could boost his passing and dribbling. You could also give him Maestro. You could give him something that boosts his pace and passing. Because he's high, I would urge that pace is quite important for him. So you could look at something like Engine. Boost that pace, boost that dribbling, and boost that passing, and just make him an absolute menace in the midfield, or at least that's the plan. And then that is the midfield taken care of, guys. And then last but not least, before we get into some gameplay, the first player we're going to be up front is going to be Kevin Gamero, but it's going to be his 85 rated version. And then last but not least, guys, it is going to be Antoine Griezmann up front. I haven't really used Griezmann that much this year other than in draft here or there, and so these are the two lads up front. So for Griezmann, I've already got Hunter Chem Star on him. He is selling for 160,000 right now, and is pretty much the bulk of this team in terms of coins. The reason why I give him Hunter is because his dribbling is already exceptional. You could give him something like, well, let's have a look at what other chem stars we could give him. Is there one for pace, dribbling, and shooting? I don't think there is there? I would use that all day long if there was. Engine wouldn't be too bad, pace, dribbling and passing, but I do want to improve his shooting. I also want to improve his pace. So I would either argue Hunter or Hawk for Griezmann. If you want to boost that physical up a little bit, try and get up to around 70, make that card exceptional, go ahead. For me personally, Hunter's where it's going to be. His passing's good, of course. He's got the 4-star skill moves. And then for Gamero, I've only just bought him, and I bought him with a Hawk on him. He goes for about 50,000 coins right now. 40,000 coins, I apologise. 40,000 coins. So for his chem style, I mean, you want to give him pace because he's only got 81 pace. His passing and dribbling don't need to be touched, and his shooting's great, and his physical's good. Again, same with Griezmann. You could give him probably Hawk, or you could give him Hunter. Either one of the two is going to be good. I'm going to give him Hawk and see how it goes. We already have a Hawk on him. Perfect. So I'm going to keep Hawk on him. So whoever had Hawk on him before, I mean, they didn't do great with him. 99 goals, 51 assists in 186 games is not the best, but hopefully we can make better use of him. And of course, he has 3-star, but he is 5 for 8 tall, so we'll see how it goes. This team interests me. It intrigued me a lot. I like the look of it. I think it could play very, very well. I think everyone's going to get 10 chem once I put a Spanish. No, I'm going to put a La Liga manager in, and we're just going to play with the 2 fullbacks on 9 chem. Of course, I could put an Italian La Liga manager in it, or a Brazilian, and it would get one of the fullbacks to 10 chem. But if you want to be that finicky, then go right ahead. But I'm not going to do it. We're at 187 team anyway. We obviously need to put a bench in. I'll just put some Randys on the bench. But that, guys, is the team. Let us get into the custom tactics. As per usual, all the custom tactics for me remain the same. And I just put the dead defender line to cover. And then for player instructions, again, even though it's a different formation, for me it's the same sort of stuff. You want to put your fullbacks to stay back while attacking, both Florenzi and Alex Sandro. You want to put your CDM in to stay back while attacking. No, not man mark. Whereas, there you go, stay back while attacking. I want my 2 forwards to stay central and get in behind. The same for Gamero. And the rest of these dudes, I just leave as they are. And let the game work out where they are. So those are the custom tactics. That was the player instructions. This is the team. Let's get into the gameplay. Okay guys, as we go into the gameplay, our first opponent has got a 185 team, quite an interesting team. He's got Vardy, Sturridge and Lallana all on Hunter cards. He's got Florenzi at right back, Sandro at left back, Chiellini, Buffon and Koulibaly in defence, with Marquisio, Pjanic and Nainggolan at CDM. Not full chem on every player, but full chem on the whole team, and quite an interesting team. Now, we are playing in Division 3 right now. Not the highest division, but definitely a division that's good enough to tell whether or not these teams are worth using. Of course, if you guys want to send me your teams, twitter.com/NepentheZ, send me your Foothead, Footwiz or web app links. I don't mind taking a look at web app links as well. Make sure you share the link on the web app though, because if you just copy and paste the web app link at the top, it just links me to my own web app. So make sure that's the case. Now, what was I expecting from this team? I was expecting a lot out of Griezmann. He was a star man. He was the most expensive player. I thought he was going to be very good. I didn't know what to expect from the defence. I haven't really used them much. I haven't really used Griezmann much either, to be honest. I was very interested to see how Gamero, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to call him Gamero. We're going to go with Gamero. I don't know what I was expecting of Gamero, because I've never used him before, but based on my kind of dealings with target men style strikers in not only this FIFA but previous FIFAs, I was hoping for good things from him. I wasn't expecting anything, I was hoping for good things. And good things is exactly what we got from him. He was by far and away the best player. Do I think this team is the best team in FIFA? And the answer to that is no. I would give this team like a 7 out of 10. You can see here with 3-0 up, my opponent does score. The reason why I'd go for a 7 out of 10 in this team is it felt like it lacked power. You know, I personally believe that midfielders need like a lot of physical, a lot of height. And this team, although it had Busquets in there, this team just really didn't have that in abundance. You know, like Koke, just not the guy that you want. Maybe it was the formation, you know, the Cam Rodriguez, fantastic, love the guy. But Koke and the other centre mid, Ivan Rakitic there, they just lacked something. I can't, like, it's really hard because I can see why the person that sent this team in sat there and thought this team is amazing. You can see the match stats there: 59% possession, far more shots, much better pass accuracy. You're saying like, wait, you've just destroyed that guy, and you're saying that there's a problem with this team, like, but it just didn't feel like it wasn't fluid. It wasn't a fluent team. Like the goals that I carved out, I was having to try ever so hard to do so. The second opponent we come up against has got another ridiculous team. Aubameyang at cam, Michael Owen at cam. He's got Jamie Carragher, Sergio Ramos, David De Gea, Philippe Lahm, Alba, Cazorla, Gustavo, Coutinho, and Danny Sturridge up front. And this is a team where I was just like, oh my god, like, yeah, okay, our team's pretty good. We've got some solid players in there, but this guy's got a retarded good team, and I actually defended this really poorly. Can't take anything away from the opponent's goal. It's a really nice finish from Aubameyang, and it's not the fault of the team right there. I was backing off and backing off and backing off. I was waiting for him to make a certain movement before I could go in and tackle, and he never made that. He played a perfect through ball, shot and scored, made it 1-0. I then pulled it back to 1-1 with a penalty. I gave it to Gamero. His penalty was 91, I believe. And that was actually how that game ended. So we get a draw in our second game. Here's David De Gea making 5 saves to my goalkeeper's 2 saves. Quite an even game in terms of chances created. I did again dominate possession. I think the domination in possession, which you'll see almost all of the games that we play here today, is more based on the formation and the fact that we've got quality passers in the midfield than the actual players or the team itself. The defence was really strong. The third opponent we come up against, a really weird team. So he's got Robben, he's got Leroy Fer, Dembele, De Bruyne, Hazard. Obviously this is like Belgian and Dutch influenced team, but it's just a strange squad to be playing with in Division 3. That being said, my opponent gave me some troubles. This was probably the most difficult opponent we had the whole game. I did sit there after the game and reflect and think, you know what, if he had like a proper built, well-structured team, he probably would have beat me. Fortunately enough for me, his team was just a little bit all over the place, as was his tackling at times. His slide tackles and his dangerous tackles were very, very high. And again, we go through here with Gamero, and at this point in our games, in our gameplay, Gamero is showing to be a fantastic purchase. Griezmann, not so much. Now, I know the pro players just love Griezmann. They loved him last year, they love him this year. If you come up against, in Foot Champs, if you come up against a guy with Griezmann at striker or at cam, and it's a 4-1-3-2, sorry, a 4-3-1-2, expect that they're a pro player or you're going to lose, because it's just, obviously it's not the case. Like, people who aren't good at FIFA can also have Griezmann at cam or at striker. I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, like, from my experience, the pros, they love him. The pros love the following players: Griezmann, Ronaldo, Bale, Pogba, legends like Vieira, legends like George Best. Like, they just love those players. So I was expecting huge things out of Griezmann. We end up getting a 2-2 draw in that game. So again, you know, 1 win, 2 draws. This game was bang even. I said to you guys, if this guy had a better, more well-rounded team, he probably would have beat me. But we got another draw out of it. That gives us 2 draws and 1 win. Even though the 1 draw was quite a comprehensive draw, in my opinion. You know, a draw where I didn't struggle, sorry, I held possession well, created a lot of chances. Our final opponent for today, guys, has got a 4-3-3 team. Very nice team indeed. Klein, Matip, David Luiz and Shaw in defence. A very strong BPL team. Matic, Dembele and Kante. His attack is a bit weird. Depay is fine. I'm not so sure about Antonio, I've never used him. And then Danny Welbeck, when you've got the team that this guy had, I was kind of surprised that he had Danny Welbeck up front. Like, he's got really, really strong OP players, and I guess he just loves Danny Welbeck. So we end up getting him behind quite early on in the game. Gamero there again to tap that one home, and it was the Gamero show. I think he was the best player on the team. I also think Sergio Busquets is unreal. If you guys worry about Sergio Busquets because of his pace, just try him out 1 or 2 games. Try him in divisions or online singles to get a feel for him, because these slow CDM-based midfielders, people just disregard them because of their lack of pace. Gareth Barry's squad building challenge is one of them. You know, Sergio Busquets is another one. There's, I think, William Carvalho from the Liga NOS, the Portuguese dude, is another one of them. They have, like, not crazy good pace, but their other stats are so well-rounded that, in fact, they're unbelievable in the game. And to break this team down, what would I change about this team? I would definitely get a more skillful centre midfielder in there. I know James Rodriguez has 4-star skills, I know Griezmann has 4-star skills, but that's where you're at. You're limited to those two. So I would replace Koke or Rakitic for a 4-star skiller. Rakitic for Modric, in my opinion, would be a prime opportunity to change players. I would honestly also take out Griezmann for a probably like a speedster. I know Griezmann's got a lot of pace at 86 and with chem style even more so, but I would probably take out Griezmann for someone who's got that rapid pace. Now if you're paying 150k for Griezmann, I don't know how much Suarez is, if you could afford him, Bale if you could afford him, Ronaldo, Messi if you could afford either of them. Someone with like 90 plus pace from that league would probably be a little bit better, or just use use one of the cheap players with stupid pace. Not saying that the cheap players are better than Griezmann. That's a fantastic goal from Danny Welbeck, by the way. I just felt like Griezmann, there was just something missing with Griezmann, and I know he scored a hat-trick in this final game, but I still felt like there was something missing. I couldn't put my finger on it. The defence was solid as. I know I conceded a lot of goals in this game, but the defence was really, really strong. I really enjoyed them. I thought Alexandro was great, I thought Florenzi was great, Barzagli and Bonucci fantastic, Buffon was brilliant. The defence probably like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. You could get a few more OP players in there, like an informed Bonucci, a Chiellini, the informed Florenzi. You can get some better versions of players in there, but in general I thought the defence was fantastic. I thought the base of the midfield was good with Sergio Busquets. I thought James Rodriguez was solid, Gamero was solid. The letdowns of the team really were Koke, Rakitic and Griezmann, which was surprising because they're like 3 of the better players in the team, in my opinion. So that is kind of how it felt for me. And you can see we ended up scoring 7 goals from 7 shots in that game. Crazy success rate. I actually think I had about 10 or 12 shots, but for some reason in FIFA, first time shots just don't count as shots. So if you ever wonder, oh my god, my opponent scored 3 goals from 3 shots, sometimes they've actually had 6 or 7 shots, but some of them are first time shots. So just to take a look at the squad one more time before we end today's video, that's what we've got on the screen. I would definitely get rid of a few of those players. You can see that Gamero is just a superstar for me. 4 games, 7 goals and 4 assists. That's a fantastic return from the guy. He's cheaper than Griezmann, who got, I don't know how many goals and assists he got because I already had 4 games with him, but he's only got 4 goals and 3 assists in 8 games that I've played with him. So Gamero's already basically achieved that, or at least the same goal to game contributions for half the amount of games and for 1/3 of the price. So if I were to pick between the two, I'd go for Gamero. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video. Is this the best team in FIFA? No. Is it a good team to play with? Yes. Can you make some good changes to this team? I believe so. But this will be the end of the video, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.